All right, what up, people? It's your boy Chig from Guna Eagle Eye, coming to you again with a brand new video. This time it is player ratings. It is a preview. It's the big one. It's Arsenal versus Man City, where Arsenal host Man City tomorrow in the Premier League. Now, this is a game that I think a lot of us have been secretly dreading because Man City is Pep. We've been playing worse than we normally play at this time of the year. And I think everyone's kind of just assumed the worst. What's gone under the radar, however, is that Man City ain't been great. And don't get me wrong, their level of not great is still a lot higher than our level of not great. But their defense, they've got a lot of problems. They've got a lot of injuries, concerns. They've had a lot of surprise defeats. You can hear it in my voice, can't you? You can hear it. Cold is fucking up my voice. It's that time of year though. I'm in straight man flu mode, so excuse me. Big up to you, Rich. I hope you're well, brother. But yeah, for me, it's just a case of we just have to be brave. It's as simple as that. Now, granted, we're going to have to be brave enough to avoid getting an absolute drubbing. And big up my guy, Alex, always coming through. Always, brother. My gosh. Thank you once again for the donation, although you don't need to. But thank you. I appreciate it. Howdy, Simon. I hope you're close to Kentish Town. Ooh. Well, without disclosing too much about my destination, I'm not a million miles away. Not a million miles away. I am slightly confident because City are weak. Hold up. I'll get into your comments after. Thank you for everyone that is slowly starting to come into the chat room. Big up to you, Miss Smith. I see you. Hope you're well. Please do. Sorry, Miss Smith, Mrs. Smith. Please do drive up those likes as you come into the chat room, guys. I would appreciate it. It helps people notice the show. Because me and Lee got weirdly low rated show last week. So I want to make sure that people see the show. And the best way of you guys doing that is by driving the likes up. So please do, guys. Oh, Ben, don't worry, brother. I'll give you that literally towards the end of the show. Don't worry about that. Yeah. All right. Seems like everyone lives near Kentish Town. What's going on? All right. So let's talk about the game. Man City versus Arsenal. Now, obviously, going into the game, and let's talk more about us than Man City. We had some injury worries. For example, Bellerin was ruled out. Some people will think that's a blessing. I think Granit Xhaka has a knock. I think he does. Obviously, we have our usuals. So Holding, big up to you, VP, the veteran out here, the veteran donator out here. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. We have a number of injury concerns ourselves going throughout all our defense. I can't even remember. We've got that many injuries. I can't remember who's in and who isn't. Obviously, Kieran Tierney's out. That to me was a particular blow because I was really looking forward to seeing what he could do in a 3-4 month stretch in the team because I believe the kid will go on and be something really good, but he needs to be playing. The one downside for Kieran Tierney for me is that he is very injury prone. So we obviously knew off the back of the last Premier League game that we were going to be without Kieran Tierney for some time. Having said that, Kolasinac, by all intents and purposes, if we're being honest, has done all right. He's done okay. I mean, the last Premier League game, he got himself an assist. And he's done okay. And actually, we may have found a Kieran Tierney backup solution in Saka, which is interesting. So I think we do have some choices here of how to tweak the squad. I also think we are going to have to start relying on some of these youngsters, particularly if we're not looking to strengthen in January. Going into this game, there's nothing else that could be said other than every single one of those players has to step up and give 100%. If we are to stand any chance, every single one of those players cannot give less than 100%. If they do, we lose. It's as simple as that. I don't care what injury problems City have. Yes, I know they don't have Aguero, and Aguero tends to bang in every single Man City Arsenal game there is. Yes, there's no Aguero. I understand that. I understand that. Is it Sterling that they have out or someone like that? They have another key player out. I can't remember who it is. But I know they have a number of injuries. I know their defense has been ravaged. I mean, they have some. I thought we had defensive problems. They have some serious defensive problems. That's a lot of the reason why they're losing games. I think Stones went down the other day. Now they're having to play Fernandinho, who normally gives us problems in the middle of the park. He's having to play at the back. So they have problems. Silva, there you go. I see you guys. Thank you, guys. David Silva. There's another one who, let's be real here, is their version of Santi Cazorla. Just coordinates stuff. He's out. So, given their injuries, given their form, one might say we have half a chance at these guys. But I think in order for us to be able to take advantage of that chance, we have to be playing at our very best. My concern is, can we play at our very best against City? At home, our record isn't terrible against them. I understand that we lost last year. I think it was 1-0 or something dumb like that. But actually, the year before that and the year before that, I think we drew both games. And then I think the game before that, we actually beat them. So we don't have the worst results against them at the Emirates. But I will say this. This was mainly during the previous manager times. Since then, our record at home is slowly but surely starting to decline. Whether Freddie can get that back on track or not is another question. For me, we're going to have to be organized. We have to accept we're going to concede a lot of shots, which against these lot is expected, but we have to be concentrated. And we can't go there passively. I think if we're passive against them, they will beat us. It's as simple as that. If we kind of show them too much respect, they will beat us. The mere fact that they're doubting themselves, we have to take advantage of that. They're coming to our gaff, so let's get them playing Arsenal ball, not their ball. So it is what it is. And like some of you guys are saying in the chat room, big up to almost 50 people in here. Please do stick a like on this video. It helps people get noticed. Sorry, you're going to hear me bang on about that a lot, but I noticed you guys have been slipping with the likes lately. So you need to drive that right back up. I know you guys can do it. So please do stick a like on this video if you haven't already. But for me, going into this game, we need to be focused. We need to be driven. We need to have our big players turn up. And we need all 11 people on that pitch working. That includes the goalkeeper, by the way, because that goalkeeper will be active tomorrow. So he needs to stay switched on, stay focused, stay concentrated throughout the game. So a lot of this is going to reflect in the 11 that you're about to see, because that's going to be the next question. All right, then, Chig, you're saying all this, but ultimately, who are the 11 people that you would send on that pitch tomorrow? That's the question. Chig, do I watch darts? It's on now. How did you know? How did you know I was watching it? So yeah, who are the 11 that I would send on that pitch? Well, let me show you guys the 11 that I would send up. Believe when I say I'm not saying this is what Freddie will do, because I actually don't think he'll do. I don't think he'll be brave enough to do it. But I am going to try, and explain, as I always do, why I've picked the 11 that I've picked. So I want you to keep that in mind before you start going, All right? All right. Bear with me for 1 second, guys. Okay. Share the screen. Chrome tab. And here we go. Now, this is my 11 going into the game. Now, I ain't going to lie to you. Normally, I do these in 30 seconds. I had to think about this one. I thought to myself, well, what do I want in this side? Because obviously, there were questions where... So, I mean, let's talk from goalkeeper upwards. I thought Leno in goal is our number one. And to be fair to Leno, I'm on Leno because I'm not as gassed on Leno as some of the rest of you guys. But actually, I think this season he's had largely a good season, to be honest. So I have no problem putting Leno in goal as the number one. Right back, I had to have a conversation with myself because I thought initially about Chambers, obviously not AZ. Imagine AZ Maitland-Niles ain't there. But Chambers as a right back. I initially thought that. And then I thought, no. Chig, you know defenders. And I think when Chambers plays here, he's our best centre-back. Quote me. He's our best centre-back when Chambers plays here. What I actually thought worked quite well was, not so much in the first 20 minutes, was AZ Maitland-Niles. And quite honestly, we don't have any choice. If you're going to play Chambers as a centre back, as you think you should. Sorry, I had to mute myself while I cough like a madman. As I think you should, then I think playing AZ Maitland-Niles there, you may as well at this point. You may as well. I think there's no way back for this kid. Personally, I hope I'm wrong, but I think after this season, I can see him leaving. And maybe he should, to be honest. Socrates plays so well when he doesn't have David Luiz playing next to him. I've told you guys this. And the funny thing is, I said this, when did I say this? 2-3 weeks ago? And somebody was like saying, oh, well, you're being harsh on David Luiz because, we were bad before David Luiz came in. Yeah, somehow we're defending worse, though. So I can only attribute that to David Luiz. And when you know you're bad when the person you're playing with is also starting to decline. Whereas put Socrates next to Chambers, all of a sudden these two know what they're doing. So I'm having that same centre-back partnership. I actually think they're our best centre-back partnership. Kolasinac, fair play to this man. I'll tell you, last couple of games he's played well, but tomorrow is the challenge. You know, he's got De Bruyne on him, who, in my view, is one of, if he ain't the best, he's top 3 best midfielders in the world. Tends to play on that right-hand side. So he's going to have to be, the one thing that I will say for Kolasinac, at least De Bruyne is not rapid. But he's a lot more intelligent than Kolasinac. So I think this is why I've debated with this. But I'll come to that in a second. Bear with me. I'll explain what's going on here in a minute. These two are going to have to be clever and responsible. When it comes to Man City, their midfield is always the problem. They always overpower us from that midfield. The one thing I will say again, in fact, I've just been reminded about something else about AZ Maitland-Niles, which I'll come back to in a minute. The one thing I will say, Guendouzi's very good at buying fouls. And I think if you tell Lucas to sit here and just collect, tackle, do whatever you got to do, I think he'll do it. I think he prefers doing that than doing whatever the heck Emre was doing with him earlier on in the season. These two will have to be disciplined, particularly when these two go on a gallop. Because the one thing I will say for AZ Maitland-Niles and Kolasinac, there's one thing they have in common. They like being caught with the ball here, and then attackers like going down here. So I think these two are going to have to be a bit more disciplined, play at the base a little bit more, and just relax a little bit. AZ Maitland-Niles has a big problem tomorrow, and his name is Raheem Sterling. I don't know what he's going to do. I'll be honest. But I think the one thing I will say is AZ Maitland-Niles seems like more of a man marker to me. If I was Freddie, I'll just tell him, sit on Raheem Sterling. That's all I want you to do. Just sit on him, make sure he doesn't have anything suffocate him. Do whatever you got to do. Now, obviously, saying that presents a problem for this man, because the one thing I think worked pretty well last week was I thought these two hooked up very well. I don't think they're going to have as much of an opportunity to do that tomorrow. So there's going to be more emphasis and responsibility on Pepe, collecting the ball from Guendouzi, collecting the ball from deep, and then galloping at their defenders. One thing I've heard a lot of Man City fans say, and yes, I actually know a few Man City fans, they do have some concern about Rodri playing there alone instead of Fernandinho. So I'd quite like us to kind of pull my man out of position. I think someone like Pepe coming deep could allow either Torreira to gallop forward and create problems with his run and opening up the space for him, or Martinelli, who's going to be, let's be real here, charging up and down here, all around here like a madman. I think his movement is going to cause problems and pull Rodri out of position. When that happens, these men need to be on point. And that's why I played Martinelli on the left instead of in the middle. So a lot of people will be wondering why I've done that. Saka is the best crosser in the team. Don't get it twisted, guys. All of these lot will be interchanging. Every single one of these three will be In fact, don't be surprised if Uber's also interchanging. But I started Martinelli there because I do feel like Kolasinac, at least initially, will need the most help. I also don't mind this, because I can imagine people in the chat are suggesting it right now. I don't mind this. Similarly, I've said for weeks that I would quite like Pepe to be on the left, Saka on the right, Martinelli either up top or in number 10. I also don't mind that either. However you want to position them, really. And then Uber up top. So let me just return everybody to their position. Also, the reason I put Saka as a number 10 is actually he used to play quite centrally. He's played here in the under-23s a lot. One thing he's also done, he's played there as well. He used to bang in quite a few goals. So, and I think Freddie will have that knowledge. So that's why I don't think it is beyond the realm of possibility that Saka does start as a number 10. Why have I not gone with Mesut Ozil? Very simple. We need 10 people active and running tomorrow. It's as simple as that. Against pet teams, you can't afford to be fucking about. You need to match energy with energy. And the one thing I would say, the one thing you guys will give me is every single one of these pitches, every single one of these players, for better or worse, will run and run and run if they need to. Pepe, run. Runner, a crazy runner on crack. You got to admit, Guendouzi's always there. He's always buying fouls. He's always running. Another one who, he's South American, so you know what they do. All they do is run. South American and Africans, one thing we do is run. We can run. So that's all he's going to be doing. You know, Kolasinac, as much as I can't stand him, sometimes in the 90th minute, my man's still busting a gut to get that crossing that he inevitably hits the first man with. Ainsley Maitland-Niles is another one, very athletic. This is probably his best attribute. So him getting up and down, I think I can see him, like I said, I can see him doing more of a defensive job tomorrow. But him getting up and down, we just need people running. And then we need two people who can call out players, see everything that's happening. So that's my thought process behind this team. You guys let me know what you think. Leave it in the chat room if you're watching live. In the comments below if you're watching this on the playback. I know one thing I would say, I'll hold my hands up. Recently, I've been slack with the replies lately on the playback. So I will improve that. So I'll make sure I'll get on the case of that and start replying and interacting and hitting you guys back up like I used to. So yeah, apologies for that. If this is the first time you're listening, please do hit that subscribe button. Please hit that subscribe button. I'm about 6 away from 7,100, so that's great. I'd like to move on towards that 10K target now. So yeah, if you guys can help me do that, that would be great. All right, let's go back into the chat and see what you man are saying. Mark Clattenburg's in the house. Big up to you, Mark Clattenburg. Don't like you as a ref, but I like you as a YouTube character. I'm the best athlete on the pitch. Yes, yes, you are. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I will give my predictions shortly, guys, just to let you know. Let me see what you lot are saying now. Jose Castillo, the man with the best name in the chat. Hi, Chig. Hopefully everything is good. Hopefully your team can win against City. Never ask you, Messi or Ronaldo. Chig the Kid, love your channel. Hopefully you can get to 10K, go Barcelona. It's difficult. It is difficult because people will be screaming Messi, duh. But actually, for a long time, I thought Ronaldo. But I actually think for the longevity that Messi has been great. Yes, you can make the arguments, and there are great arguments. Ronaldo's done it for different teams. He has won more on a world stage. There are things that you can level at them and say, well, that's why Ronaldo's the better player. And to be honest, if you tell me Ronaldo's the better player, I ain't arguing with you. Fair enough. But to me, I think it's Messi. Yes, I think Messi has had his home comforts there. You know, the team has been designed for him for the last 10 to 15 years. And I get it. But he's still the best. He's still number one. And I have to say Messi. He is the everything player. Ronaldo's an athlete. He is the ultimate athlete, but he's an athlete. Whereas Messi is the ultimate footballer. He can do everything. Anything. So, yeah. I don't say Miles better, Mr. I'm going to bed. I saw you. But no, yeah, I think he's better. But I wouldn't hate on you if you said Ronaldo. And when Ronaldo was in his peak, like I said, for a long time, I used to argue Ronaldo. So, all right, guys. Any other questions? Anything else before we get on to predictions? Chig Ronaldo. Martin. Messi's is out for the team and still scores goals. Do you know what I mean? Both are. That's what I'm saying. Let's have it right. Both are absolute legends. Legends is a word that's overused. Not in that case. Not in those cases. Big up to you, Alex Gomez. I see it. I see your donation again. Thank you very much. And Alex says Zidane was much better than Ronaldo. Poetry in motion. Oh no, that was an interesting conversation. That's an interesting conversation. See, Alex don't donate for no reason. Alex will donate and start and stir the pot with a comment. That's an interesting. Leave that with me for a minute, Alex. I'll get back to you on that one tomorrow. Leave that one with me. Because I must admit, I rated Zidane highly back in the day. Highly. So I don't automatically disagree, but I'll get back to you on that one. Let that marinate for a second. Chig, I'd pick Chambers over Niles. So Khaled, for me, the reason I've gone with with Niles is I don't want Chambers on the right against Sterling's pace. No chance. No chance. I mean, we're just asking for trouble. Not only that, I also don't want David Luiz in this match. So there are two good enough reasons that I'd have Ainsley Maitland-Niles there. Plus, in the end, I didn't think Ainsley Maitland-Niles did a bad job. In the end. All right. See you later, Omar. It's like the 8th time you told me this. I think we need more than anything a right back. Who do you go for in that position? I think we must sell Bellerin and Ainsley Maitland-Niles ASAP. Vlad, I agree with you, but in that case, then we need two. Because a lot of our problems is that we haven't had a backup when Bellerin's been out. I'd go for Max Aarons. I think that kid could be so good. He's 20 years old as well. I think he'd be so good. And then maybe another. Maybe if there's someone in our youth setup that's doing well. Apparently. Don't put Mustafi on our starting 11. No, not against Man City. No. He's injured. He's got a foot. I think it's a foot injury. But he's supposed to be in training the same time as Ceballos, so both of them are coming back together. Remember the last time Chambers on the right and Zaha skinned him, and there you go. And me and Jon Snow don't necessarily agree on everything, but we agree on that one. Gone with 3-4-3, Chig. Okay, hit me up, Jousty. What's your team? Give me some predictions, guys. By the way, I'm about to give you mine, so give me some predictions. What are the predictions ahead of tomorrow? Also, if you're watching this on the playback, you guys know how I like to do it. Leave your team. Don't just criticize mine. Leave your team so I can comment and we can go back and forth that way. Uber Martinelli is the best front three. Yep. For those people who are wondering why I've not put Lacazette in the team, I think Lacazette's been dead lately. Yeah, I know he scored midweek, but even in that game, he went great. He looks like a player that's lost his motivation. And B, I just think balance works best, especially against a Pep side. Pep sides are so fluid that you need someone who's going to be able to be a specialist in their position and work hard. 2-1 to the Arsenal, 3-1 City. You're doing that from bed. Chig, do I like darts? Why does this question keep being asked? Has someone asked you to ask me this question? Ceballos is also injured, but he's coming back in 2 weeks' time. Am I doing a live stream for the Europa League on Monday? The Europa League on Monday? What are you talking about? 3-0 City. Laka doesn't look like he wants to be here. Yeah, he doesn't. I agree with you, Omar. I agree with you. All right. So let me tell you what my kind of prediction is. For me, we need to be brave. And that's the reason I've gone with the title of the video. We need to be brave just to avoid a battering, if you want me to be real. Who are in the midfield? I have no idea what that question is. Oh, you mean the Europa League draw? Sorry, maybe I misread it. Jose, apologies. Do you say Europa League draw? Oh, you said Europa League. I was looking. What do you mean? Europa League draw on Monday. I'll be at work, brother. So if it's being shown at a time when I can bring you that draw, then of course. But I'm at work, so I'll literally be diving into a meeting room and then doing a quick reaction to it, and then coming back. So it'll be a reaction video. It won't be a live stream of it. Yeah, so say draw next time, brother. So drawn. So, Chig, I have a suspicion that the dressing room is split into two groups. Yes, but not necessarily. I think it's more of a personality thing than anything more sinister. I think, you just have the French guys or the French speaking guys. I don't necessarily think Torreira is in the group you've just said, but the French speaking guys. And then you have the rest. You have the English speaking guys, the Spanish guys, the Swiss guys, or well, when Lichtsteiner was there. So yeah. Right. So my prediction is 1-1. 1-1. I'm trying to think as positively as possible. The reason I've gone with this is because A, we don't lose many at the Emirates. B, City are not in the greatest form themselves. C, Aguero ain't there. And Aguero does tend to bang in a lot of goals to them. And I just think if this was an Emre team, I think we'll get smoked. I'm not saying I want Freddie to stay. I still want him to bounce because I think the team would benefit from an actual manager. But at least the one thing I will say for Freddie is they seem to be more positive in their play. And I think whenever you play a Pep side, you can't do this passive nonsense. You can't park the bus. You can't do none of that. You have to be forward thinking. And I think the one thing Freddie is at least trying to get them to do is to be more positive and more forward thinking. And actually, the one thing I would say is a result like this could be the inspiration we need to make a push. Because I don't know what's going on with Chelsea. They know I'm fucked up the last couple of times. And they're dangling a carrot there that I'm finding interesting. I didn't even realize that we're 7 points behind Chelsea in fourth. And a win over City means that we're fourth. Sorry, we're 4 points behind fourth. Now, I have to caveat all this. Spurs are yet to play. United are yet to play. So I have to caveat this. But I will say this. Why not start winning games in the league and start pressuring them and asking the question? What's the worst that can happen? None of us actually think we're going to get fourth. But if we ask the question, let's see what happens. Just my view. But anyway, you guys let me know what you think. Leave it in the comments below. If you like this video, please crush, please destroy, please drop kick that like button. I appreciate when you guys do that. Jon Snow and Omar, I've seen that you say you're surprised that I'm being positive, I'm being optimistic. I always try and be in predictions. I always go into these situations trying, keyword, trying to believe that this team will turn up and have some pride. So I have to continue with that thought. If we could give 100%, we avoid being embarrassed. And even if we lose, sometimes it's about the way you lose. I could take a loss to Man City of all teams. If we went out there and said, all right, we at home. If you want to beat us, you got to damn near kill us. And then we lose some jammy 1-0, 2-1 sort of. Cool. What I don't want us to do is get embarrassed and get slapped. Because if we get piped, that's when I have a problem. Just don't embarrass us. That's all I know. That's all I want us to do. Go out there with some kind of form of belief. But yeah, Chelsea, I recognize that too. I'm trying to think upwards, buddy. I'm trying to think upwards. But yeah, it is what it is. You guys let me know what you think. Please leave it in the comments below. And please hit that like button. Please, I know I annoy people when I say this. drive them likes up. It helps the show get noticed, and it helps me, and it helps the show grow. And ultimately, once the show grows, the quality will get better. The things that I want to do for you guys gets better. All right. I'm out of here. This is me and my bitching done. Take care. I'll see you tomorrow with Lee, doing our usual player ratings. And that's pretty much it. Peace.